to play the shitty games that suck ass. He'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat the rotten asshole of a roadkill skunk and down it with beer. He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video game nerd.
Remember back when I first warned you about the horrors of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on NES? Well, there were a few other games I mentioned there.
They're just, rare, obscure games, like, Mick Kids or Taxman or whatever.
What the hell is Taxman? I didn't even know what the hell I was talking about. I had too much to drink. What I meant to say was Wall Street Kid, a game about the stock market. Who would ever want to play a game like that? But it just so happens, by some fucking coincidence, there actually is a game called Taxman for the Apple II computer. I've heard that there's nothing much to this game, it's just a Pac-Man clone. I figured that probably means that it's a game that's very similar to Pac-Man. I was wrong. By clone, they meant an exact copy. It's Pac-Man. Have you played Pac-Man? Then you play Taxman without even knowing it. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about something that I've feared since the beginning.
Those little Tiger, electronic wrist games, those are better than Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Have we gotten to that point now? Is it time to scrape the bottom of the toilet bowl of the whole video game industry? Yeah, it's time to talk about Tiger games. Since the advent of video games, the idea of portable games was a novel concept, like the Nintendo Game & Watch series. Everybody liked the idea of being able to bring a game with you wherever you go. There were many examples, but none so common as the Tiger handheld games. They used the most primitive technology possible. The graphics, if you could even call them graphics, work like this. The background is a fixed image that's printed onto the console. In front of that is a clear screen, kind of like an animation cell, with a bunch of static images that represent all the characters and objects. When the game plays, these images light up individually to simulate the illusion of movement. It's sort of like a calculator or a digital watch. I can't think of a more crude way to make a video game. Of course, you don't need technology to make a good game, but these were all ungodly. But that didn't stop these games from flooding the market. They were everywhere, and everybody bought them. Everybody I knew had at least one of these things. On the school bus, people were playing them. At lunchtime, everybody was swapping them around and playing each other's games. It was like chicken pox. We all got it. It was the cheapest option for a handheld game. You could find them at any store, they were convenient for birthday presents, and each one was its own individual game. You didn't need to get any other game cartridges to play on them. And all you needed was 2 AA batteries. The Game Boy, on the other hand, was more expensive, needed 4 AA batteries, and you'd still need to buy games for it. Tiger was like the poverty version. For a lot of us, it was either this or nothing. And nobody minded. These things brainwashed us. They had colorful artwork that looked way better than the shit that came on inside the screen. It somehow gave you the impression that you were holding an arcade machine in your hands. The commercials made them look awesome, but really, they were garbage. These games were so mass-produced, it was like a swarm of mosquitoes sucking our blood, and we all got bit. The most shameless part of it is that these games tried to be more than what they were. With this kind of technology, they could have stuck to solitaire or video poker. But no, they took it all the way and adapted action-adventure games. They took Konami games, Capcom games, Sega games like Altered Beast, Shinobi, and Sonic the Hedgehog. Any video game franchise ended up butchered on one of these things. Any licensed product, movies, TV shows, this Tiger got its claws on everything. When you adapt a well-known game, everybody knows what the real game is supposed to be like. You have something to compare it to. The difference is night and day. But hey, the idea of playing Mega Man 2 on the go? Why not? Mega Man using a gun instead of his arm cannon? Sure, I guess somebody just looked at the atrocious cover to the original Mega Man and thought, okay, he's got a gun, put it in the game. And how about running out of ammo? Have you ever wanted to play a Mega Man game where you can run out of ammo? Well, this is it. Street Fighter 2. Really? First you have the arcade, then you have the home console versions, then you have the Game Boy version, and then at the very bottom you have the Tiger version. The only thing less than that will be using your imagination, or playing the board game. But even that was better. How about the TV shows like Dinosaurs? Listen to that awful music. You'd rather listen to I'm the baby, gotta love me. Remember that shit?